The next thing we have to do when we start up to this point is to set up your workspace. Just like in Rhino, how we set up the grid spacing, the units and all that stuff, we still need to do for AutoCAD. Okay, because right now AutoCAD is set to like its default decimal dimensions and stuff. We want to make it so that we have the right units, have the right grid snap and all that stuff. So here we go. So in your command prompt, go ahead and type in units. Okay, and enter. Another dialog box should pop up that looks something like this. Okay, so when we look at this dialog box, notice that the length is measured in decimal. We want to get this into architectural, not engineering, not fractional, not scientific. Get it into architectural. And then you'll start to read what that will look like. See, it says 0 feet, hyphen 0 and 16th inch. That's your precision. 16th inch is your precision. That's pretty precise construction-wise. Okay, construction-wise, like I said before, you'll be lucky if you hit like half an inch, quarter inch. They're doing great. Don't tell the contractors that; they get offended. Okay. For the angle, decimal degree is perfectly fine. We might change it to degrees, minutes, second when we're working on a site plan, but for now, let's just keep it to decimal degrees. Put it into about a triple aught, 0.000 as your precision. And this is already measuring counterclockwise, going from the X up this way and around. You can leave that alone. The insertion scale is set to inches. If you recall, I stressed that when we're working on Rhino, that you set your units to inches, right? This will help when we try to import or export the Rhino file into AutoCAD. That way the units are the same, and whatever size that you made your project will remain that size when you put it into the other software. Okay, so if you have the units set differently, it might give you a problem, like you have a really small object that comes in, or a really huge objects that come in. So keep these consistent at inches. Okay, and so all of the sample readout for this is pretty much like so: 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and so on and so on. AutoCAD does have, like I said, the units is inches as a default. That means that you could type in a distance or whatever of, let's say if you want 2 foot, you could type in 2 foot, which is what, the little tick mark, or you could type in 24, no symbol for the inches, and it'll understand that it is inches. Okay, and that's pretty much the same as Rhino. And when everything is all set and done, just say OK. Thanks. So the next thing that you'll have to set in here is the limits, just like it's written on the chalkboard. Limits. And it will say the first left corner, which is this lower bottom right here, is set to 0, 0. Right? Leave that alone. 0, 0. And so if that's the case, we just say enter. And then it'll ask for the upper right corner, which is somewhere on this side. For now, let's do something that is maybe 11 by 17. Okay, that way, actually no, let's do 15 feet by 10 feet. So the x coordinate first, so 15 feet, comma, 10 foot, 10 feet. Okay, so the little 1 tick mark, that will symbolize the feet sign. So go ahead and hit the enter key, and that sets our limit. Basically, If you guys could click on this rectangle symbol, if we say 0, 0 as the lower corner, try that again. Rectangle, first corner is 0, 0, enter. Notice that from the absolute 0, it's hit where all the lines cross, right? And then the top was 15 feet, comma 10 foot, and there it is. As soon as you have that, just say zoom. Type in zoom, enter, and then say extents. So you could type in E, where it's highlighted as blue E, or you could click on this thing and it'll take you out to where that is. The next setting that we want to do is snap. So type in snap, enter, and the default is given as 1/2 inch. Let's give ourselves 6 inches. Okay. And then the other one, last one, is grid. Grid, enter. And for this, let's type in 12 inches or a foot. Okay. And that basically gives us pretty much the same thing that we set up in Rhino. Okay, so whenever you set your foot in a new AutoCAD document, set those stuff up first. Units, limits, snap, grid. And if you zoom out, you see whatever that limit is. Okay, I just drew this rectangle just to show that it does go, it'll go zoom out into that limit. Okay, so that's very, very important. The limit stuff, not as important. That's kind of an old school thing where AutoCAD needed a limit before you could start anything, but nowadays you don't. However, it is a good practice to put the limits in because sometimes AutoCAD will get confused. And if you have that limit in there, it helps it to navigate. Okay?